These are the top headlines from a newsroom today. Mandatory PCR tests for travelers with above normal temperature, according to Oman airports. Keep these rules in mind while using Oman's airports. National survey on COVID-19 vaccines set to commence. US begins vaccine shipments. India's COVID-19 tally reaches 9.88 million, while Indonesia reports over 5,000 new cases. Ronaldo, first player to win 400 games in Europe's top 5 leagues. Chelsea, Manchester City to kick off midweek Premier League. These were the top headlines for the day. Let's see how the weather looks like in the Sultanate in our weather update.
I'm Mantra Bose with your daily dose of weather, and we're reporting from the TFM studio in Al Quair. Did you know that more than 70 to 80% of the oxygen that we breathe are produced by marine plants, more specifically marine algae? That was our tip today. Now we'll step inside the studio and we'll talk a little bit more about weather. According to the latest weather forecast by Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authority, the Sultanate will see mainly clear skies today with scattered clouds along the coastal areas. Taking a look at the seas, the Musandam coast and Oman Sea will be moderate, with waves reaching a height of 1.5 meters, whereas the Arabian Sea will be moderate to rough, with waves reaching a height of 2.5 meters. With that, let's take a look at what the weather will be like throughout the Sultanate. Muscat will be sunny with temperatures between 24 and 17 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny with temperatures between 22 and 16 degrees Celsius. North Al Batana will be sunny with temperatures between 24 and 17 degrees Celsius, and South Al Batana will also be sunny with temperatures between 23 and 16 degrees Celsius. Al Buremi will be sunny with temperatures between 25 and 15 degrees Celsius. Al Dahira will also be sunny with temperatures between 25 and 17 degrees Celsius. Al Dakhla will be sunny with temperatures between 25 and 14 degrees Celsius. North Al Sharqiya will be sunny with temperatures between 25 and 14 degrees Celsius, and South Al Sharqiya will also be sunny with temperatures between 24 and 18 degrees Celsius. Al Busta will be sunny with temperatures between 25 and 18 degrees Celsius, and Dhofar will also be sunny with temperatures between 22 and 12 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now starting with our local news stories for the day. Passengers departing from airports in the Sultanate who record temperatures higher than 38 degrees Celsius during thermal screening will be required to take PCR tests on the premises. Thermal screening is used to detect passengers with fever, and those who are required to take a test can do so at the facilities made available at the airport, said Oman Airports as part of its advisory. Now, sending an advisory online, it stated that if required, PCR tests can be done at the airport drive-thru and walk-in facilities located in the P5 car park in Muscat and at the cargo terminal in Salalah. Those who wish to take a test at these locations are requested to follow the signs to the relevant facilities. A PCR test at the airport costs 19 Omani riyals. Results are also made available within 24 hours and can be viewed online at covid19.emusharraf.om. Although citizens and expatriates in the Sultanate can travel overseas without pre-approval, those who do fly out of the country must carry insurance to cover their COVID-19 treatment expenses in the country to which they are flying to. To reduce waiting time while dealing with the enhanced health and safety measures at airports in Oman, passengers are requested to consider online check-in where possible prior to arrival at the airport to avoid face-to-face contact at the airport. Also, travelers need to be at the airport at least 3 hours before the official time of departure, or 4 hours at most. Lastly, Oman Airports also added that never travel if you display coronavirus symptoms. Check the latest COVID-19 travel and testing requirements for your destination. Do not travel if you feel sick or have a fever. Now, talking on the same lines, if you're traveling to and from Oman, and through the airports in the Sultanate, you must read the following passenger requirements before you book your travel. A statement issued online by Civil Aviation Authority, known as CAA, in the Sultanate said, based on the decision of the Supreme Committee for dealing with the symptoms of COVID-19, all travelers to Oman are required to undergo a PCR test upon arrival at the airport. Now, the requirements for entering the Sultanate through Oman airports, as featured in the Civil Aviation Authority circular, effective from 10 December 2020, reads as follows. A COVID PCR-19 test before departure to the Sultanate of Oman is not required. GCC citizens, residents with valid residency permits, and passengers with a valid visa are allowed to enter the Sultanate without prior approval. All passengers arriving to the Sultanate of Oman are required to have international health insurance covering the cost of treatment from COVID-19 for 1 month, except for citizens, GCC nationals, and passengers with free treatment cards. All travelers arriving in Oman from any destination will be required to undergo a COVID-19 PCR test at arrival. In addition, the PCR test is mandatory on arrival and has to be pre-booked through covid19.emusharraf.om. The cost for the PCR test on arrival is 25 Omani Riyals and includes the fitting of a tracking wristband for all Omani citizens and passengers staying longer than 7 days. Test results will be available within 24 hours. The test report is available electronically on covid19.emusharraf.om. The quarantine period is 7 days from the date of arrival in Oman on the condition of getting a negative result of a COVID-19 PCR test on the date of arrival and on the condition of conducting another test on 8th day. If the passengers does not wish to undertake a COVID-19 PCR test on the 8th day, they must remain in quarantine until they complete 14 days of quarantine from the date of arrival. Children who are 15 years old and below are exempt from the COVID-19 PCR test and wristband tracking requirements. Now, before booking a flight, passengers must consider the following requirements. Omani citizens and residents can travel abroad without pre-approval. Omani citizens shall have health insurance covering COVID-19 valid in the country they are traveling to. Check the latest COVID-19 travel and testing requirements for your destination. Consider online check-in where possible prior to arrival at the airport to avoid face-to-face contact at the airport. Travelers need to be at the airport at least 3 hours before the official time of departure or 4 hours at most. Never travel if you display coronavirus symptoms. Thermal screening takes place at the airport to identify passengers with fever. If you have a temperature above 38 degrees Celsius or higher, you'll be asked to undertake a COVID-19 PCR test. If required, PCR tests can be done at the airport drive-thru and walk-in facilities located in P5 car park in Muscat and at the cargo terminal in Salalah. Follow the road signs. The cost of the PCR test is 19 Omani Riyals. Test results will be available within 24 hours. Now, a total of 3,000 Omanis and expats in the country have been selected and random to participate in the National COVID-19 Vaccine Survey, which begins today. The survey has been launched to understand people's attitudes and practices concerning COVID-19 and the associated vaccine. The survey is being implemented by the Ministry of Health, represented by the Directorate General for Disease Surveillance and Control, in cooperation with the National Center for Statistics and Information and a number of other stakeholders. These people will participate in the survey to limit the effects of incorrect information about epidemic by getting closer to and understanding society, enhancing the accuracy of information provided. It aims to examine the knowledge members of the various communities in Oman have pertaining to the vaccine and how their attitudes are likely to be once it begins to be administered to people in Oman. The questionnaire process will be conducted by organizing a 5-minute phone call with the concerned person from the NCSI. A number of questions will be asked to the participants. These questions are divided into a number of topics, including some are related to general information about the participant, while others concern what he or she knows so far about the vaccine, its position, and the practices and attitudes towards it. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have a very interesting guest joining us right after this short commercial break.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now continuing with our local stories for the day. Hamdan Al-Khatri, one of Oman's fastest trail runners, reached new heights this weekend as he broke his own personal best time by completing a challenging 150 kilometers course in just under 30 hours. Finishing in 29 hours and 54 minutes, Al-Khatri continued his upward trajectory in the sport and will look to test himself further in 2021. And right now we have this rising star joining us on a phone call. Let's welcome Hamdan Al-Khatri. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamdan, for joining us, and congratulations on this amazing record that you just have achieved.
Many thanks for you because you bring me for this interview.
It's our opportunity to have you on our show. So tell us a little about this trail that you recently did.
This is it is a big challenge for me because our mountains here in Oman, like Jabal Akhdar and Jabal Shams, it is not easy. You can run or hike it because Jabal Shams, the high elevation is more than 3,000, and the decrease of the temperature was under 3 degrees. So it was not easy, but I tried to divide my power from the beginning, from the start line until the finish line by the all stakes of this challenge. And finally, I get the time under 30 hours.
What sort of preparation you had to do for this kind of trail, Mr. Hamdan? And I know that this is your own personal best time. So what were the preparation, or how did you prepare for this kind of rigorous endeavor?
Preparation, I have the whole week, I try to complete more than 100 meters running by maybe daily 30 kilometers or sometimes 50 kilometers per day. Also, sometimes I have in the schedule of the week long ride of cycling. Also, I have workout in gym. Sometimes the end of the weekend, or sometimes we have holiday. I am going to Jabal Akhdar or Jabal Shams to try to do long run with more elevation, like sometimes 70 kilometers or sometimes 50 kilometers, and that is make me to improve my level and complete this challenge.
So when you started this 150 kilometers course recently, were you planning that you will be beating your own record, or was this a surprise to you as well?
No, I am planning. Before I starting, I am sure I will be completed under 30 hours. But I was worried because when we reached the Jabal Shams, it was like 2 o'clock a.m. and it was the temperature is under 3 minus. So it is too hard to complete that time. But I tried, and after that maybe I late to 1 hour from the time which I hope completed this stage. But I completed in good time finally.
Yeah, congratulations on that, Mr. Hamdan. It is definitely a very, very impressive time record. And you have you just mentioned that on a daily basis you were running for about 30 kilometers or sometimes even 50 kilometers. I just wanted to ask you how, what kind of commitment do you need to put in before you go on a trail run? How do you prepare? What kind of motivation? Because you said that you got at Jabal Shams by 2 in the morning and it was minus 3 degrees. And in Oman, it's very tough to, prepare yourself for that kind of temperature. How did you manage to do that?
I know that time will be the temperature is too hard for me. So I try to buy. I buy it like a waterproof jacket, also good shoes for this rookie because it is not easy. Also, I try to put in the book in the point checkpoint the food. It is good for my body, and it is give me power to complete the other stage.
I also wanted to ask you, you just mentioned, I'm so glad you mentioned about the food. When you are going on such a long trail, what kind of food do you have to consume? Or do you have to, keep your stomach empty before this long journey? Or do you, make foods into portions and then you consume over every 3 hours or 4 hours? How does that work?
About food, from the beginning, you try to be balanced in your food. Because if, for example, if you eat too much and you feel stomach, you can't maybe complete more than 30 kilometers, but you should be balanced for that. So, for example, when I reach the checkpoint, I try to choose like a little food with more drinks like water, or sometimes orange juice, like that.
So, Mr. Hamdan, for how long have you been involved in this kind of sport, and what really got you into it?
Now I am in this trial running, especially in mountains. Already I have 3 years. The big reason for this, I like this sport because when I start to run this race in UTMB 2018. It was 137 kilometers, and that time I wasn't like what I have now. I don't have more workout. I don't have experience. So I finished that race, and I thinking to complete this next year and be the first Omani who try to be in the top of 3 or top of 10, because it is not easy. So I started to training hard, and I try to see what the famous runner did for this and preparation for this races.
Right. Well, now we are extremely proud of you, and I'm sure you're proud of the amount you have put in, the hard work that you have put in. It has completely, outshined you, and you are now one of the fastest runners in the country doing this amazing trail run. I also wanted to ask, you said that it was 2018 that really got you into this sport. How common do you think trail run is in the Sultanate?
Trail run, it is new here in Oman, and I did this challenge special for Omani runner who try to be famous trail runner and in the top, because they have to be training more. They have to be have experience how to do with the hard rock, and sometimes when the weather in here in Oman, it is sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's too cold. And so especially we try to get the message for all runner who now is new in this gym, to try to be to improve them, and to give them, it is not there is no impossible. We can all to be on the top.
Right. And I just wanted to ask you, you just now mentioned again about the time, and you gave a beautiful advice to all the runners in the Sultanate. When do you, in your opinion, is the best time for a trail run in the Sultanate? And how should people, place themselves into getting into it?
I didn't get you. Excuse me.
I'm saying, what is the best time to get into trail running, considering the season and the weather in the Sultanate? When is the best time? Is it the winters? Is it the summer?
I think it is the best time is in October, because it is like it is not too much cold, and there is the temperature of the temperature was less than in September or in August. But also that if we do it in December, it is too cold.
But Mr. Hamdan, you managed to do it in December with -3 degrees.
Yeah, because the UTMB by Oman last year, it was in December. So
Right.
I didn't try to change the date, because it is also, when I challenge this, I challenge the weather, I challenge the natural of the mountains, everything I challenge.
And you did an exceptional job. Thank you so much for setting such an
Yeah.
amazing example for all the youth and people who are actually looking into this sport.
Thank you for all.
Thank you so much.
And my advice for all, they can do it, and just they should training and training and training.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hamdan, once again for joining us, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more updates coming your way from our international desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. And now from our international desk. The first shipments of the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine were set out to distribution centers across the United States on Sunday. It was the first step in a massive COVID-19 vaccine rollout in the world's worst-hit country, with vaccinations expected to begin on Monday. Workers at a Pfizer factory in the city of Kalamazoo in Michigan packed the first shipments of the vaccine in boxes layered with dry ice. Refrigerated trucks carrying the first shipments were escorted to a nearby airport by security officers wearing body armor. The first shipments of the vaccine, co-developed with German pharmaceutical firm BioNTech, will be staggered. On Monday, 145 distribution centers had received the first doses. An additional 425 sites will get shipments today, while another 66 centers will get the vaccine on Wednesday. The distribution comes after U.S. regulators with the FDA authorized emergency use of the vaccine late on Friday, following similar moves by Canada and the United Kingdom. Now, Asia-Pacific countries kept reporting more confirmed cases of coronavirus on Monday as India announced 27,071 new infections, bringing the total to 9,884,100, according to the latest data from the Federal Health Ministry. According to the data, the death toll mounted to 145,355, with 336 new deaths since Sunday morning. In Indonesia, the confirmed cases rose by 5,489 within one day to 623,309, with the death toll adding by 137 to 18,959, the Ministry of Health said in the country. According to the ministry, 5,121 more people were discharged from hospitals, bringing the total number of recovered patients to 510,957. On the other hand, Malaysia reported 1,371 new infections, the health ministry said, bringing the national total to 84,846. Health Ministry Director General Nur Hisham Abdullah told a press briefing that one of the new cases was imported and 1,370 were local transmissions. 4 new deaths have been reported in Malaysia, bringing the total death toll at 419. The Department of Health of the Philippines reported 1,339 new confirmed infections, bringing the total number in the country to 450,733. The Ministry of Health in Philippines said 41 more patients recovered, raising the total number of recoveries to 418,723. The death toll climbed to 8,757 after 24 more patients died from the viral disease, the department added. South Korea reported 718 more cases as of midnight Sunday local time compared to 24 hours ago, raising the total number of infections to 43,484. 7 more deaths were confirmed, leaving the death toll at 587. The total fertility rate stood at 1.35%. Lastly, Afghanistan has confirmed 211 new COVID-19 positive cases over the past 24 hours, bringing the total number of patients infected with the disease to 49,484 in the country, said a statement of the Public Health Ministry. According to the statement, 4 patients died, totaling the number of COVID-19 related deaths to 1,975. These were the updated figures from the international desk. Now moving to sports desk. Juventus star Cristiano Ronaldo on Sunday added another feather to his illustrious cap as he completed his 400th win in Europe's top 5 leagues, a number no other player has reached in the 21st century. A second-half brace by Ronaldo and a goal from Paulo Dybala saw Juventus claim a 3-1 victory over Genoa at the Stadio Ligui Ferraces. The Portuguese forward achieved the feat in his 100th game for the Turin-based club. Ronaldo, of course, starred in the Premier League for Manchester United and then La Liga with Real Madrid before moving across to Italy in 2018. No other man has managed to finish on the winning side as many times as him in the past 20 years, although Lionel Messi, with 365 wins, may catch him in the coming seasons. Cristiano's Juventus teammate Buffon completes the podium, winning no less than 350 times in his illustrious league's career that has spanned both Serie A and Ligue 1 with Paris Saint-Germain. Now, Tuesday, which is today, sees the new start of a round for Premier League matches, with Chelsea facing a complicated away visit Wolves, while Manchester City will expect a comfortable win at home to struggling West Brom. Chelsea boss Frank Lampard described his team as a work in progress and gave a vote of confidence to attacking midfielder Havertz after the 21-year-old was substituted during his side's 1-0 defeat away to Everton on Saturday. That defeat ended a run of 13 games without a loss for Lampard's men, and they will hope to get back on the winning trail against a rival that lost at home to local rivals Aston Villa on Saturday, and who will be without the injured Raul Jimenez and the suspended Moutinho. Replacing Jimenez, who fractured his skull in a clash of heads against Arsenal, is the main problem for Wolves coach Santo, who will probably keep faith in 18-year-old Fabio Silva. Manchester City should have a relatively easy night when they entertain West Brom, who are second from bottom of the table with just 6 points so far this campaign. There are more matches on Wednesday, including the game of the week, which sees second-place Liverpool at home to take on league leaders Tottenham in a game the hosts will want to turn into a homage for former coach Gerard Houllier, who passed away on Monday. With this news, we have come to the end of the episode for today, but we'll be back again tomorrow at 2 p.m. with more updates and latest news your way. Stay tuned to TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.